unbelievable as it may seem for a man who is almost as famous as Dr. Seuss for having most all of his books in every library of any size in the country. His books have been extremely popular, and that's of course just the children's books. There's a dense paragraph that I had to read through of all of the awards that just his kids' books have won. Yeah, I'm modest man here, but given that where he has arrived, you would not have expected to hear him say that he never considered a career in art. It was too easy for him. He went instead. He grew up in Detroit, and he went to Wayne State, and he pursued a career in playwriting. He actually has had 3 plays produced by professional companies. Not bad success. It's just encouragement, I would say, if it ever happened to me. But his friend got drunk one night, his roommate and friend, and decided to tell him that the doodles he made on the foam pad were much better than any plays he had ever written. So, given that sage advice, he transferred his major to art.
And perceiving the truth of it the moment he said it.
And he took a degree as a Master of Fine Arts at Yale Graduate School of Art and went on to teach for many years at the college level. He ended up teaching at K College, Kalamazoo College, just south of us here. And about that same time, I think I got anyway, not that same time, but earlier, he had a book, his first illustrated picture book, Eula Lee and the Hopping Head, which he took to New York and went around to all the publishers, and finally got it published in 1981, and that was the beginning of an illustrious career. I think that would be the right word for that. And then somewhere along the line he decided that, and I think we have to ask him that question in a few minutes, that he would like to do his story. He spent 3 long years working every day on Stitches. Stitches apparently has shown the effect. I'm going to read this really fast. It was a National Book Award finalist, Young Adult Nonfiction Indie Book Award finalist, Library of Michigan Notable Book, Alex Award winner, American Library Association Notable Book of 2010, Book List Editor's Choice. That's just half. This is a great book. This is a book that will reward you for any attention you care to pay. It's amazing what you can do with the power of illustration. So I'm going to get out of the way. We're going to ask some questions of David and try to find out a little bit more about this book. And then at the end, I'm going to open it up for questions from you. Would you please welcome David Small.
I wanted to just say a couple of things that occurred to me. I haven't seen this film for a while, and I just had a few thoughts I jotted down in the back. One was, seeing it with some more objectivity at this point, it just amazes me the persistence of the will to escape reality of the child, of some children. Mm-hmm. And that whole yellow towel incident, I mean, that yellow towel really was, I thought, my out into another reality. Even despite all the mirror evidence that when I put it on, I looked nothing like Alice, but a lot like a girl child of a family of Irish potato famine refugees. And I guess the other thing was that I jotted down, maybe this is a longer thing and I don't want to go into it right now, but just the danger of language in my family and how that that single word that I used with my grandmother, ain't, got me into so much trouble because I was so unaware of the personal, the family, and the social dangers just contained in that one word, which a child at my age, at 6 years old, was like really incapable of knowing. Maybe you'd have to read the book to really fully understand that, but in an earlier scene before she scalds my hands, my grandmother and I were making beds up in her bedroom, and I was supposedly helping her with the sheets and so on. And I saw a crucifix on the wall, and I'd never seen one before. And I asked her what it was, and she said, "Ain't you got one of them in your house?" And I said, "Mama says that people who say ain't are stupid." And 8 hours later, she got back at me for it. You know, meant not. Actually, it took making the book to start putting all these pieces together in a way that made sense for me. But that was obviously her revenge for my having quoted my mother, but it was a revenge not on me, it was mainly a revenge on my mother and her education, which my grandmother didn't have, and a lot of other stuff. It's terrible what children go through.
As far as the yellow towel, I think probably half of the people in this room have tied a towel around their neck and thought they could fly. Yeah, it's easy to get away from reality, isn't it? A yellow towel or a towel of any color. But what you bring up about how terrible childhood can be, we don't always talk about that very often. You did the brave thing. You went into some of the most painful parts of your early history, and you spent 3 years with it. Longer than 3 years. Why? Why now? Why ever?
I did it as truly it was an act of self-therapy to begin with. I never intended to make a book about this. I never thought it would be a book. Even when it was developing into a book, I had serious doubts that more than 5 people would ever read it. I did it because I wanted to go back into psychoanalysis. I'd been in analysis for nearly 10 years when I was a teenager, so about the time I was 23, with a wonderful, wonderful analyst, and I wanted him back. I wanted somebody back to talk to who would pay attention just to me, who would listen to my, if I could speak them better than I could then. I felt I could possibly express myself in a way that would make somebody understand and help me better. But the fact is, where I live, we're hundreds of miles from help like that.